Welcome to the recording, Getting Started with Time Tracking for Hourly Employees. In the next few minutes, you will learn how to record and submit your hours worked using the time worklet, submit requests for time off, absences, change and correct submitted time and absence entries, understand the approval process. All hourly employees must enter their time using Workday. Fortunately, as you will see, the process is easy and relatively painless. To enter time, click on the time icon on the Workday Home dashboard. Workday will display the time worklet. The worklet has two columns, Enter Time and View. The first option in the Enter Time column allows you to enter time for this week, the current week. You can also enter time for the previous 7 days, last week, or you can select any week for entering time. The numbers represent the number of hours currently recorded but not submitted for that period. I'm going to enter time for this week. This is the Enter Time calendar. You might see this message if payroll has blocked time entry for a given time period. You can click the left or right arrows to change the days displayed. Clicking the View button allows you to display either a full week or just one day on the calendar. At the top right, your hours will be totaled and categorized as you enter your time. Click anywhere on the day for which you want to record time. Workday will display the Enter Time form. It's important to remember that in Workday, you will not be entering the numbers of hours you worked, such as 7 for 7 hours. Instead, you will enter the actual times, including lunch hours if you're not paid for lunch. Most required fields are indicated with red asterisks. Click the selection icon to select the time type. The selections listed will depend upon your role. Type the time you arrived for work. In, 8:30 A would be 8:30 a.m. Then enter the time you left work. Out, 4:30 p would be 4:30 p.m. If you're not paid for lunch, enter the time you went for lunch. In the Out Reason field, select the reason you left work. Out means you left for the day. Meal means you started your unpaid lunchtime. Total hours will calculate based on the time or times you enter in the In and Out fields. You can type a comment for any explanation you want to record. Next, click OK to move on to the next step. I'll now enter my afternoon time. I've put in my afternoon hours. I'll click OK again. If you are paid for lunch, you just need to make one entry. I've entered time for 2 days, but notice it has not yet been submitted. I could repeat these steps each day and submit at the end of the week, or I could wait until the end of the week and enter all the days at once. Notice, at the top right, it has totaled the number of hours I entered. When you are ready to submit for approval, click Submit. Review the time entered, then submit again. Once you click that second submit, your time will be forwarded automatically to your manager's Workday inbox. I click Done, and you can see that the time entries have been updated to a submitted status. If your work hours do not change much day to day, the Quick Add feature might work well for you. Open the time worklet, move to the first day of the week for which you want to enter time, then click the Enter Time button. Select Quick Add in the pop-up menu. On the Quick Add screen, hours worked is auto-filled into the time type field. You only need to change this if you're entering an absence or if you need to make a different entry based on your role. Click Next. Enter your morning hours, both in and out. If you're not paid for lunch, you can enter meal for the out reason. Then you can click Add to add the afternoon hours. Clicking Remove will delete a time entry. If you are paid for lunch, you just need to make one entry. Do not click Add. Click the check boxes for the days of the week for which those hours apply, and then click OK. Workday will populate the days you selected with the hours you entered. You can click any place on a day to make changes for that day. Click Submit once, review your time entry, then click Submit again. Your time will be forwarded automatically to your manager's Workday inbox. If you want Workday to copy your work hours from a previous week to the current week, use the Autofill from Prior Week feature. Open the time worklet and move to the week for which you want to enter time. Click the Enter Time button, and from the pop-up menu, select Autofill from Prior Week. In the Select Week field, select the week from which you want to import hours. Workday will fill in a summary of the hours, and then you can click OK. Workday will populate the calendar with the work hours of the selected week. Again, you can click on any day to make changes. Then you can click Submit. Using this feature, Workday will only import work hours from a previous week, not absences, holidays, or any other non-work entries. Although it is strongly suggested you enter your time either daily or by the end of the current pay period, Sunday, the time worklet has two options for quickly entering your time into previous or future weeks. Last week displays the calendar of the previous week. Select Week prompts you for the week you wish to view. You do need to enter hours that you did not work, absences, and why. And you can enter future absences as well. On the Enter Time calendar, click on the date for which you want to enter an absence. Click the Time Type Fields selection icon. Click on Absence. Scroll to find the reason for your absence. Click its radio button. Hours will default to 7, 7.5, or 8 hours, depending on your scheduled hours. You will need to enter the exact number of hours of your absence. For example, if you are a scheduled 7-hour per day employee and you want to take a half-day vacation, you'd enter 3.5 hours. You can enter comments such as the reason why you were or will be absent. Click OK, and then you can submit. I just found out I've been called for jury duty. I'm going to enter my absence. Oh, what's this? It's an error. If you fail to complete a required field before you submit your time, or if you make an errant entry into one or more fields, Workday will display a red error box. You can click the red box to see descriptions of the error or errors, but in this case, you can see that Workday has highlighted the affected fields in red. Oh, it looks like I forgot to put in a number for the hours field. Okay, I've corrected the error, and now I'll click OK. An error must be corrected before an entry can be submitted successfully. An alert is something you should be aware of, but you can clear it and continue on. You can change a time entry at any time. If the entry you are changing has not been submitted, your manager will see your most current entries when you submit. If you make a change to a submitted entry, your manager will see your proposed changes. If the entry you are changing has already been approved, your manager will need to approve the changes. Workday will update all necessary payroll adjustments. To make a change, move to the date for which you want to make a change, click anywhere on that time block. Workday will open the Enter Time form. Make your changes, and then click OK. Workday will change the status to not submitted, and then you can click Submit. Many of the actions covered in this recording, such as entering your time or requesting a day off, initiates a business process. A business process is made up of a collection of tasks that are completed in a specific order using predefined routing to accomplish a desired business objective. In short, it's a bunch of steps that need to be completed so something can get done, such as getting your hours worked approved. In a business process, some of the tasks are approvals. When you submit your time, the approval process forwards your request to your manager's Workday inbox. There, your manager can either approve your request or send it back to you for adjustment. Your manager does have the ability to enter your time and/or change it. After you submit your request, Workday will tell you what's up next. To view details of your entry as well as the entire business process, you can click Details and Process. Click Details to review the transaction. Click Process to see all the steps in the business process and the current status, as well as who's responsible for the next action. There are two areas on the Home dashboard in which Workday will send you messages: Notifications and the Inbox. Notifications are things you need to be aware of, but do not require immediate action. In the Notifications area, Workday will remind hourly employees that they need to enter their time and will notify them when they have successfully submitted their time, and when the time entry business process has completed successfully. The Inbox displays items on which you need to take action. Your manager may not approve your time, but instead send it back with questions or directions on making corrections. If your manager returns your timesheet to you, you'll see that notice in your Workday inbox. You can see that this entry needs attention. Click on that entry. Workday opens the revised time form. I'll make the change and then click OK. I'll now submit that change. An important thing to remember: your Workday and email inboxes are not integrated. You will need to monitor them separately. You can view your time off balances by selecting Time Off Balance in the View column of the Time worklet. Enter the date at which you want to view the balances. Today's date will give you the most current balance. After you've been using Workday for a while, you'll find shortcuts for getting things done. The search box at the top of most Workday screens provides many of these shortcuts. I can type in what I want to do and then select it from the search results menu. You can also enter partial entries, and again, it's popped up on the search results menu. Let's do a quick review of what you've been watching. When you are ready to enter your time, go into the Time worklet and click This Week for the current time period. You can use the other options in the Enter Time column to enter or make corrections in other periods. Time Off Balance lets you see how much time off you have remaining. To enter time, click on a day in the calendar to open the Enter Time form. Select the time type, which includes normal hours worked, absences, and other time codes based on your role. Enter when you arrived for work, in, and when you left, out. Select the reason you left work. Out means your workday ended. Meal means you left for lunch. Click OK, and then enter your afternoon time if you are not paid for lunch. If you are paid for lunch, you do not have to make the second entry. You entered your time, but your manager has not received the approval request in his or her inbox. Can you tell why from looking at this picture? You did not click Submit. Which icon would you press to see the notification that you entered your time? The bell, or notifications. Which would you press to resubmit a time entry returned to you by your manager? The envelope, or inbox. Which would you click to get the local weather? None of them. The cloud is the profile icon, which will have your stag card picture. This brings us to the end of getting started with time tracking for hourly employees. Thank you for your time. I hope this information will be helpful.